Now, if you've already dipped into the video I did about Frank Zappa's beginner-friendly tracks, then those funky satirical songs, the wild guitar solos, and those whimsical storytelling, then you know he was unlike any other musician of the 20th century. But that first taste is only just the start for me. Today I'm choosing 10 more tracks that open up a different doors into his world. Think of this as a second step, a slightly deeper dive into that satirical mind, his big band jazz experiments and his guitar genius. Let's go track by track. This time I'm starting off with Camarillo Barillo from Overnight Sensation in 1973. Now this is something really quite playful. It's a quirky love and lust story, full of absurd images and clever rhymes. Zappa sings about a wild woman with flaming hair, a velvet glove and a penchant for studied improvisation. Even the title itself is a wordplay. Camarillo being a California city, and Brillo evoking both shine and that scrubbing pad brand. Now musically, the tune is deceptively bright. It's built of a straightforward rock groove, and that's easy to latch onto. And it's a perfect getaway track showing how Zappa could make humour catchy without really losing his musical bite.
She had that Camarillo Brillo flaming out along ahead.
I'm the Slime from Overnight Sensation in 1973 is next, and really, I'm the Slime is one of Zappa's most famous critiques of modern culture. Here, he personifies television itself as the slime, creeping into your mind and shaping your thoughts. Delivered with a funky, infectious groove, the track manages to be both funny and unsettling. And listen for the background vocals. It's none other than Tina Turner and the Ikettes, who lend the song an irresistible edge. It's satire, yes, but also danceable, which is one of Zappa's neatest tricks. And the Slime proves he could make social commentary sound like a party.
I am gross and perverted. I'm obsessed and deranged.
Trouble Every Day is next from Freak Out in 1966, and we're going right back to his debut album with The Mothers of Invention. Trouble Every Day is one of Zappa's most straightforward and serious songs, written in response to the 1965 Watts riots in Los Angeles. It's a blues rock protest number that pulls no punches whatsoever, lamenting racial violence, media exploitation and society in turmoil. Now, unlike his later satirical or comedic tracks, this one burns with raw anger and urgency. The guitar and harmonica drive home its grit, and later in his career, Zappa often expanded it into a jazzier, home-filled version called More Trouble Every Day. It's proof that beneath that humour, he could be deadly serious just as well.
So I'm watching and I'm waiting, hoping for the best, even think I'll go to praying.
Joe's Garage, Act 1 now from 1979, and this is a late 70s track, and the title is really deceptively simple, and it's a catchy rock tune about a kid in the garage band. It's also the getaway into sprawling narrative about censorship, absurd bureaucracy, and the power of music. In the story, Joe and his bandmates get into trouble with the central scrutinizer, this government voice that polices all music. Now, on the surface, it's sing-along friendly with a killer hook, but underneath, it's got a biting satire of authority trying to squash creative freedom. It's typical of Zappa. It's funny, it's catchy, and unsettling all at once.
It wasn't very large. There was just enough room to cram the drums in the corner over.
Now, The Idiot Bastard Son from We're Only In It For The Money from 1968. And 2 years later on, Zappa sharpened his satire even further on We're Only In It For The Money. This was his parody of hippie counterculture. Nestled inside the chaos is The Idiot Bastard Son. This is a short, striking piece. The lyrics sketch a bizarre, absurd child figure, a stand-in for the failures of authority, family, and social ideas, no doubt. Musically, it's deceptively sweet, with lullaby-like melodies that contrast with the cynicism of the words. The song barely runs over 3 minutes, but it leaves an impression. It's one of those tracks that shows Zappa didn't just mock mainstream culture. He mocked the countercultural too. Staying with Freak Out in 1966, who are the Brain Police. And this time, it's something very different. It's eerie, hypnotic, and deeply unsettling. It asks, strange questions about identity control and conformity. What will you do if the people you knew are plastic and the chrome is too soft to be used? Zappa himself admitted the song frightened him when he wrote it in the early hours one morning. Musically, it loops and repeats almost like a nightmare set to sound. Critics have called it one of the most frightening songs in rock, and that's exactly the point. Zappa was challenging what pop music could be even back in 1966. Track 7 is Andy from One Size Fits All in 1975. Now here, I genuinely believe that Zappa's band was at its peak. George Duke was on the keyboards, Chester Thompson on the drums, Napoleon Murphy Brock on vocals and sax, and more. Now Andy is one of the album's standout tracks. It's got complex rhythms, tight playing and playful wordplay. And there's also something more personal and emotional here. The lyrics wrestle with self-doubt and searching for sincerity. Is there anything good inside of you? If there is, I really want to know, he sings. But unlike Zappa's pure comedy songs, Andy feels almost vulnerable. It balances wit with real feeling, showing yet another side of his songwriting skills. Eat That Question from the Grand Wazoo in 1972, and we're back with Jazz Fusion Experiments. And this track comes from the Grand Wazoo, which was recorded with a large ensemble after his accident in 1971 had sidelined him from touring. It kicked off with George Duke laying down a funky keyboard riff and layers horns and rhythm into a groove that's both sophisticated and fun. Now, unlike some of his more intimidating compositions, this one really is approachable, the kind of track you can nod your head to whilst marvelling at his complexity. Zappa's guitar joins the mix, but the spotlight really belongs to the band here. It's Zappa as a composer and band leader, letting his musicians shine for a change. At 9, we've got Waka Jawaka from the album of the same name in 72, and this from the same fusion period comes the sprawling title track. It's over 11 minutes, it's one of those deep cuts, but one that rewards patience. The track moves through trumpet solos, keyboard explorations, and Zappa's guitar all supported by intricate rhythms. It has the feel of a jazz big band, but with the unpredictability and quirkiness of his own rock roots. This was his first major project after that stage accident, and it shows his determination to really push into new musical territories. Now, for listeners who only really knew his satirical rock songs, Waka Jawaka is a revolution. Proof that Zappa could compose ambitious, large-scale jazz as well as anybody. We end with Black Napkins from Zutilo in 1976, and this is one of the most beloved guitar pieces. Black Napkins really, truly came alive when it was on stage, where Zappa would stretch it into long emotional solos. Unlike his more comedic or satirical tracks, this one, it's just pure mood. It's a minor key, haunting and soulful. Fans often point to it as a highlight of his guitar work. Technical, of course, but also deeply expressive. Now, if Watermelon and Easter Hay is the most emotional solo, Black Napkins is perhaps his most ironic. Ending here shows that behind all the satire and complexity, Zappa could simply pick up a guitar and say everything with those notes. Now there you have it, 10 more Zappa tracks that reveal new sides of the man to my good self. His satire, his protest, his experiments, and his guitar heroics. Now, if that first playlist was your introduction like it was mine, this second one takes you quite a step deeper. Together they offer 2 hours near enough of music that could hook you out for a lifetime. Now, for the next video in the series, I want some suggestions from you guys for the first 5 albums I should best concentrate on to further and develop my knowledge of this wonderful man. Leave me suggestions in the comments, and I will select the 5 that are perhaps most suggested. Now, the video on screen now was that first set of tracks that I did by the great man. Watch that one next, and I'll see you over there.